Welcome to Daily Roundup with Aslan. Today is January 26th, Sunday in America. The day has been passed. So, for most important news for today is about the raids from IEC. They almost arrested 1,000 people today across the country, which is a big number for in single day. Um, uh, People are scared. They fear to even go to work. Situation is really bad in America. But the next thing which I want to share with you, which I think if I would be a Colombian, I would really feel proud on myself, on my president, on my country. Colombia refused to accept deportation flights. President Gustavo Petro stood for his people. It's a big moment. He tweeted like a big message to the to the U.S. And to the world after the response from the U.S. So when Colombia refused to accept the flights, Mr. Donald Trump put tariff, 25% tariff on their products, which U.S. is importing here, and they announced that next week the tariff will be 50%. They put a travel ban on president and all the government officials of the Colombia. They put visa sanctions on these people, their families, and all those supporters. So they cannot get the visa. Of those who have the visa, they cannot travel to the United States. This was a response from Donald Trump, a very aggressive response. He also put there would be high inspection on all the products which are coming from Colombia. So after this, the president of Colombia gave a long tweet, which I would like to share with you guys. So the tweet is saying, Trump, I don't enjoy traveling to United States very much. It feels a bit boring. However, I admit that there are admirable things. I like visiting the black neighborhoods in Washington. There I once saw an entire fight in the US Capitol between blacks and Latinos with barricades, which I thought was nonsense because they should unite. He might was here, President of Colombia, when he saw some people fighting on the road. So he's mentioning that. I confess that I like Walt Whitman, Paul Simon, Noam Chomsky, and Miller. I also confess that Sacco and Vanzetti, who share my blood, are memorable figures in the US history, and I follow them. They were killed in the electric chair for being labor leaders. Fascists like those in the US also exist in my country. So here he's mentioning about Sacco and Vanzetti. Those were two Italian-born Americans. They were one of them. Sacco was a shoemaker, and Vanzetti was a fisherman. So they both were very active against the government, against the fascist government. They were very vocal for the labor laws. So these two people were accused of a robbery and murder in the state of Massachusetts. Both of them later in 1921, they both were sentenced to death of that accused. And later in 1927, they were given the death sentence through electric chair. It used to be like that. So after in 1977, the governor of Massachusetts apologized for that and said that the trial was unfair and it should not be like that. So the president of Colombia is mentioning those two people because that was a big issue at that time in the international level. So I will continue his tweet. I detest your oil, Trump. It will destroy humanity out of greed. Is referring to the Trump oil drilling thing. Perhaps one day over a glass of whiskey, which I accept despite my gastritis, we can speak frankly about this, but it's difficult because you consider me an inferior race. I'm not, nor is any Colombian. It's saying that if you think that we are inferior, there's no way we're gonna. It's not neither me or nor any Colombian is inferior to any American, or even he's mentioning direct to Trump. So if you are looking for someone stubborn, that's me. You can try to stage a coup with your economic power and arrogance, as you did with Allende. But I stand by my principles. I resisted torture. I will resist you. I just want to mention that Allende was a leader of one of the Latin American country. So America help with the CIA, they overthrow the government of Allende through some coup in I think it was in Chile. So President Gustavo Petro is mentioning here about that Allende. I will continue the tweet. I resisted torture and I will resist you. I don't want enslavers near Colombia. We have had enough and we freed ourselves. What I want near Colombia are lovers of freedom. If you can't walk with me, I will look elsewhere. Colombia is the heart of the world and you didn't understand that. This is the land of yellow butterflies, the beauty of remedios, but also the land of Colonel Aureliano Buendia, of whom I might be the last. He was one of the leader in the Latin American country who fought against the oppressed government back that time. You may kill me, but I will live on in my people who came before yours in the Americas. So he's mentioning that Latin Americans were in the continent of America before even the white people. We are people of the winds, mountains, the Caribbean Sea, and liberty. You don't like our freedom? Fine. I don't shake hands with white enslavers. Meaning कि जो गोरे हैं, sorry, I'm just going into Urdu. So he's trying to say that those white people who used to have slaves, I don't shake hands with them. I shake hands with white liberations, hires of Lincoln, and the black and white farmers of the US. He's mentioning the President Abraham Lincoln. So he will shake hands with the people who are the followers of Abraham Lincoln, white or black, or the farmers of the US. At whose graves I wept and prayed on a battlefield I reached after crossing the mountains of Tuscany in Italy after surviving COVID. So he might got COVID, he survived, and then he went to Italy, and then he went to the battlefield where he prayed for those people. They are the real US. To them, I bow no one else. Those are the real US people, and I bow to them, but no one else. Bring me down, Mr. President, and the Americas and humanity will answer you. That if you try to bring me down, America and humanity will answer you. Colombia will no longer look north; it looks to the world. Our bloods come from the Khilafah of Cordoba, the civilization of that time, and from the Roman Latins of the Mediterranean who founded the republic and democracy in Athens. Our blood carries the resistance of black turned into slaves by you. In Colombia lies the first free territory of the Americas before Washington. There I find solace in African songs. So he's saying, he's mentioning about these people, the Latin Americans, were here before anyone else. My land is the goldsmiths from the era of Egyptian pharaohs and the world's first artist from Chiribiquet. I don't know about that, but he's saying that the Egyptian has the old civilization. So he's saying that he's also, at that time, there was a civilization in the Latin America as well. So they think that we were civilized before anyone else in America. You will never dominate us. Standing against you is a warrior who rode across our lands shouting freedom. His name is Bolivar. Bolivar was one of the military and the political leader in Latin America who freed the land, which is known as Colombia, Ecuador, Peru. Those are the areas this guy Bolivar helped led the army and freed from the Spanish Empire. Our people a little fearful, a little shy, innocent and kind, but they will know how to reclaim the Panama Canal that you took from us with violence. 200 heroes from all Latin America lie in Bocas del Toro, no Panama, once Colombia home you killed. Here he is mentioning that as President Trump discussed a few days earlier that he wanted to take the Panama Canal back. Here's President Petro is mentioned that Colombia, and also Colombia Panama Canal was belonged to Colombia at one point, and then American took from them, and he's mentioning that there are 200 people are killed in that place, and he's blaming America for that, and that's what it happened actually as well. I raise a flag, and as Guyton once said, even if I am left alone, I will continue to wave the dignity of Latin America, which is the dignity of the Americas, something your ancestors didn't understand, but mine did. Mr. President, an immigrant to the US. Donald Trump को बोल रहे कि जो is saying to the Donald Trump that immigrants on the U.S. and your ancestors didn't understand the dignity, but my ancestors did. Your blockade doesn't scare me because Colombia, besides being the land of beauty, is the heart of the world. I know you love beauty as I do. Don't disrespect it, and it will offer you its sweetness. He's giving Donald Trump that don't do that, don't disrespect us. We will benefit you as well as you benefit us if you don't go and do this route of deporting Colombians in the military planes. Starting today, Colombia opens itself to the world and open arms. We are the builders of freedom, life, and humanity. I am informed that you impose a 50% tariff on the fruits of our labor to enter the US, and I will do the same. He's saying that he will put the tariff, 50% tariff on the American products as well. Let our people grow the maize that was discovered in Colombia and let them feed the world. So that was a strong tweet. It's amazing. He responded very well. That's, I think, every other country should respond because the way the US is deporting these people, they never got the chance to get a lawyer. They never got a warning. Usually, if you give them a year to leave, or they will leave on their own, they will find another way, but nothing happened like this. So I think these people do have the right to defend themselves. These countries do have the right to not accept these flights. I really appreciate Colombian President to stand against this craziness from Donald Trump, because that's not what it should be. Every country has their own sovereignty and dignity, and we should respect them as well as how we want them to respect us. There should not be any military planes used to deport civilians, because not all of them are criminals. Most of them are just normal people looking for odd jobs here in America. So I think this is one of the most important thing. Every other country where they were deporting flight, they should do that. And other than that, I think we all should fight for our rights. It doesn't matter where we are, at our workplace, at our community, at anywhere, because there are two benefits of fighting for our rights. One, we will get our rights, and second, those who will come after us, they will get their rights by default. I want to mention an example of Martin Luther King. He fought for the Black Americans. As we all know, they were used as slaves. They didn't have a right to vote. They didn't have a right to be a citizen. So they were like, they're treated very badly. So he fought for the rights, for his own rights, for the right of his own people. And after that, even though he got killed and he didn't get the chance to live a life where he could see all those things, but those who came after him, the generation and generation, they will get these rights by default. They don't have to go and fight to have the right to vote. They don't have to go to fight to become a citizen of the United States. They will have those rights by default. So I think this is very important. Wherever you are, please fight for yourself, fight for your own rights. The next one I want to mention: Israel killed 22 people in South Lebanon. These people were trying to return back to their homes. After when Israel started the war with Lebanon against Hezbollah, so they took that land, they took control of that land. So now after the ceasefire, they're supposed to return back there, but they're not returning back. So that's how Israel always does. They take control of the area in the name of giving the peace, but there's no peace. Once they take some land, they never go back from that land. So as Trump is suggesting that Gaza should be clean out, and it should be clean out, and the people should move into Egypt and Jordan, so they can construct the whole place. But there's no way, if the people left the place, there's no way they're gonna able to come back. This is what is happening in the world. Those were the two major updates for today, and hopefully I will join you guys tomorrow.